So thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it, if you felt it was useful. Now let's get into this. So, Ohara Davies wins the golden contract at light welterweight, £140, wins the golden contract tournament. He is now, well, he's with a major promoter. I'm assuming it's Top Rank. In fact, I believe it is Top Rank. At the time of recording this, they've just announced the winner. He won a majority decision over Tyrone Mckenna. Scorecards were 95-95 even and 96-94. So 6 rounds to 4 from 2 of the judges. Now, as many people will know on this channel, when it comes to judging a fight, I am someone who would tend to focus on clean punches rather than quality punches. So I do tend to favour someone who is landing the cleaner, effective shots as opposed to someone who is throwing a lot more shots, who is more active. But this fight, I just got to come out and say, I thought Ohara Davies lost this fight. And I done a live stream literally an hour or two before this fight started. I done a live stream, I think, on Sunday where I talked about this fight. I haven't done many videos on it, but I talked about it. And I said from the start, I thought Ohara Davies would stop Tyrone Mckenna. I've never really rated Tyrone Mckenna that highly as a fighter. But for my money, he won this fight. Early on in the fight, he was moving around the ring very well. He was just staying in and out of range of Ohara Davies. Ohara Davies, you can just see it, just in his footwork, in his technique. He's a very, very crude fighter. You know, he is. He's got decent punching power there. He has very long arms. He's a bit athletic. But in terms of, like, just footwork, just technical ability, I mean, he makes plenty of mistakes in there. You could see that Tyrone Mckenna, just to his footwork, the way he was moving around the ring, the way he was pivoting in and out, the way he was just landing some, he wasn't landing hard, hurtful shots on Ohara Davies, but he was landing more scoring shots. He was landing more, just more clean shots on Ohara Davies. And Ohara Davies would land on Mckenna. They were thudding shots, and he busted McKenna's eye up a little bit. That was more so stemming from the fact that McKenna cuts very easily. He's got a lot of scar tissue, residual scar tissue over his eyes from his fight against Mohammed Mahmoud, I think is how you pronounce the guy's name. So that was always going to open. You know, a few shots from Ohara Davies, that was always going to open against a heavy-handed fighter like him. But watching the rounds progress, you know, for the first, I think, 3 rounds, I gave him to Tyrone Mckenna. And I gave, I think, a couple in the middle, and the 9th and the 10th round definitely gave Tyrone Mckenna. I thought they were big rounds for Tyrone Mckenna. He was definitely outboxing Davies. So, you know, when we got to the end, and Barry Jones, big up to Barry Jones, they had him on Sky doing the commentary for this fight. And, you know, he felt that Tyrone Mckenna won it by about 3 points. I would have been in around to go with that. I would have said, yeah, in around 3 points or so would have been what I would have scored it. You know, I wasn't actively scoring it, but from what I was seeing, Tyrone Mckenna was the ring general. He was doing more what he wanted to do. Ohara Davies, you know, it's not the first time I've seen him get a dubious decision. I thought that one of the robberies of last year was Miguel Vasquez versus Ohara Davies in a fight that he looked worse in that fight than he did in this fight. I will say that. But then again, Vasquez is, at the time, was still a credible opponent. But Davies, he's got some decisions that have been dubious. In this tournament, you know, he fought an unheralded, unknown fighter in Logan Yoon in the first round. And then he fought Jeff Ofrati. I can't pronounce the guy's name. But that was at £140. That was his semi-final fight. That guy is back down fighting guys like Archie Sharp at £130. So it shows the way Davies went through that tournament very easily. And McKenna to an extent as well. I thought Mohammed Mahmoud was robbed in the semi-final against Tyrone Mckenna. But credit to Tyrone Mckenna, you know, he proved me wrong. I've never rated him particularly highly. He definitely done a lot better work in this fight than I've seen him do before, and I think he was very looking to get the decision. They're not going to do a rematch. Ohara Davies is going to move on. In terms of this golden contract, right, as far as I was aware, it was a Bob Arum Top Rank deal because they were in association with MTK. I mean, like, Ohara Davies is a domestic level fighter. You know, he's gone life and death with guys like Miguel Vasquez. As far as I believe, it was a 3-fight deal. Well, he's already got the crap beat out of him by Josh Taylor, and Josh Taylor's progressed to the point where he's in many people's pound lists. He ain't going to get anywhere near Jose Ramirez. He'll destroy Ohara Davies. Even guys like Victor Postal you know, who are, you know, associated with Top Rank, you would say, oh yeah, he beat Ohara Davis. Oh, who is he going to fight in the 140-pound division of Top Rank? You know, there's guys like Ivan Barancic out there. I think Ohara Davis in 2016 was his peak in terms of his popularity, in terms of, I say popularity, unpopularity. He's a very polarizing, divisive figure. He wasn't exactly popular, but people wanted to watch him. Now, he's admitted himself he wants to get into more realty and property and stuff like that. So what is he fighting for? As I said, in terms of him potentially winning a world title, I mean, like, again, Jose Ramirez, Jack Catterall, a man who beat Ohara Davis. We do not want to see a rematch of that fight. That was just, honestly, even though Ohara Davis lost that fight, neither man deserved to win that fight. It was a horrible fight. Yeah, I really don't know what to say or what to make of him. Again, you could say the same about Mckenna, to be fair. If he was to fight any of these like top guys at 140 pounds, would I pick any of them? No, not particularly. But it would have still been interesting to see, you know, what kind of matchmaking they do with him. It'd be interesting to see what matchmaking they do with Ohara Davis. So he marches on. He gets the win over Mckenna. Mckenna can come again. You know, it depends to see what he does next. He's working with Pete Taylor, so you know, we'll have to wait and see what he does. But yeah, it was a strange fight. It wasn't a barn burner. Both these guys had beef, but they didn't really. Yeah, it was an okay fight. There wasn't much to really talk about in it, but you know, Ohara Davis showed his flaws. Tyrone Mckenna showed that he is a good boxer. He's got good footwork, but he lacks punching power, and I think he was too happy to try and pick up rounds rather than go out there and win them, stamp his authority on them. So I think that's the best way to describe this fight. Like I said, I don't know what Ohara Davis is going to do moving forward, because he really is. I'm not being horrible to the guy. I think the guy is a domestic level fighter. So you're going to put him in with Top Rank. If they're going to put him in at the deep end, you're dealing with sharks there, people. And like, look at Josh Taylor. Like, I mean, imagine they doing that rematch. One fighter looks like he's regressed. The other fighter just looks, in the 3 years since their fight, he's just gone from strength to strength to strength to strength to strength. So, you know, yeah, that's all I can say. I mean, like, Ohara Davis ain't beating Josh Taylor. Make no mistake about that. So we'll see what he does from here. Like I said, it's over now. He gets that contract. It is financial security, which is what he wanted, more so than anything else. So he has that. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. So let me know your thoughts on this. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Of course, if you are new to the channel. As always, people, I will talk to you. Stay safe. Peace.